Caroline won £500 but nearly didn't start at all due to confidence.
I noticed my health was declining, but now 2.5 years later, I'm 30 kilograms down and feeling great.
What were your main struggles with your health and fitness before starting HQ?
I think the main one, as I said, was health related, and that I think was being perimenopausal. Weight was gaining sort of around the middle, and whereas previously exercise, I'd be able to drop my weight quite easily. That got harder and harder, and then it almost went into reverse. So I started to gain and gain. I used to have a dog and did a lot of walking. Obviously, he got more elderly, so the walks got shorter, and then unfortunately we lost him, so I didn't go out dog walking anymore. As I got more weightier, I guess I felt more reluctant to go out, almost more like sort of a bit embarrassed and ashamed, I suppose. I used to go to the gym, but then felt I didn't want to go to the gym anymore because I was too fat, and everybody would be looking at you in those environments, and just used to make me sort of feel quite anxious. So that sort of stopped as well. So I think by the mid-40s, that's then when the weight just sort of increased, and I got to the point where I started with a little bit of tummy pains. I thought, is it gallstones? Is it my diet? And I need to do something about it. I can't carry on like this. So I think I went from a comfortable sort of size 14 to 16 up to 20 to 22 in clothes. So it was really sort of a shocker. And seeing a photo of myself, we went out one day and suddenly realising I've got to do something to change. So that's when I saw the feed come up on Facebook for THQ, and it sort of drew me in, and it was like a 6-week programme, so it gives you the opportunity to try it, to sort of see how you get on. And looking into it, it's like a smaller sessions, so it seemed I thought I'd be more comfortable there, not in a big environment, and you've got one-to-one as well, so you're making sure that you're doing your exercises correctly, sort of guiding you on your nutrition, and yeah, that's what sort of drew me in.
That you must have had like a lot of sort of concerns about starting. It seems like you just like an accumulating of bad habits. You didn't really know how to get out of it, so you must have had some concerns, as you've mentioned, you're coming through those doors. But what made you feel more at ease with, obviously, you pretty much answered it really, with the small groups and stuff, but you felt more at ease, did you, coming into it?
Yeah, so I was meeting the first time the head coach, Jack, him talking through the programme, what it would entail, what support you would get, obviously being able to go and see the gym itself as well, and realising, like you say, it's more like a smaller environment, and yeah, just sort of reassuring really, saying, it can be done, and we can sort of change your weight and your body shape.
So what were the few of the things that you really saw like positive changes very early on? So really like some short-term changes. Do you know what, I'm sleeping better, I feel better, or what are these? What
I think having more energy just with eating the right foods. So I used to sit in the evenings and just comfort eat, make yourself feel a little bit better by eating all the wrong things, but then in like that vicious circle. So sort of cutting out the sugars and processed foods definitely gave me some more energy. And doing the 6-week meltdown as well, it did start to see results. Weight did start to lose some weight, so that just sort of reinforced what I was doing. And then when the 6 weeks was up, I went on to continue with the membership.
Brilliant. So you mentioned there about the 6 weeks, so we'll talk about that quickly. So that was obviously, we've talked about sort of, you got yourself like sort of stuck in a rut, so loads of bad habits. That is very hard to bring yourself out of, isn't it? So what we try to do is we think that a lot of people are in a very similar position. So they look at our gym, probably look at the results and think, oh, some of these are out of reach. We make the 6-week programme very easy to understand, easy to digest, not overwhelming, and we do really have people's sort of state of mind in our mind before they're starting that. So how did you feel the simplicity of the 6-week programme?
Yes. So having the handbook to guide you, and the access to the web page and the members area where you could have your recipe books as well was a huge help. Yeah. I'm not a cook. So having to suddenly sort of plan your meals a little bit more, especially with your shopping and doing the prep. So that was a change in behaviour, but a good change, because I've got more food awareness, I think, now when you're going around and what you're going to eat during the week, and that you're thinking more sort of like your protein, your carbs and fats. So that was quite easy and simple to follow with the modules as well, and they're easy to access. And you've got sort of like the extra exercises that you could do with videos, which you could do at home as well. So that was also a benefit if you were, getting difficulties getting to the gym because of work commitments. But on the whole, I managed to meet most of those. I think the exercises themselves as well are, different range of muscles each time, and again, changing them monthly. You don't get bored, so you've got a new challenge each month and a new pain to go through at the beginning. But body soon learns to adapt to that. The seeing the results sort of straight away, really, after those first couple of weeks, noticing that your clothes are a little bit looser, it gives you that incentive to carry on.
Yeah, brilliant. So what are some long-term benefits you've really noticed about sort of now you are feeling fit, strong and healthy?
I would say definitely health-wise, you do feel more active, a little bit more alert, you sleep a little bit better as well, just having sort of more energy. And walking, I love walking now. I'll go anywhere, I'll go, come on, let's sort of go for a walk. So even at lunchtime, I'll get the girls in the office, we'll go for like a walk around the park just to get my steps in. So it is a work joke now that we've got to get our steps in because Caroline says so.
I think you've just answered my question then, but is there any other ways that your life's changed sort of, outside of the gym really, just now you are? And I think that's obviously, you've brought up a good point now, like sort of in the work environment as well.
Yeah. I think the other benefit from getting outdoors as well is resting your eyes from screen time, because I'm always on the computer at work, or if not, you're on your phone. But whereas if you go out for a walk, you literally leave the phones, leave the computers behind. So eye health's quite a positive outcome I wasn't expecting. Things that I've done over the last year, I've done a wolf run with work, did a team did the wolf run, which is obviously like a 15, I think, was it 10 kilometres run with obstacles, which I would never have dreamt of attempting to do beforehand. And as well, doing a 20-mile charity walk for breast cancer. So that was all last year, which again, I would never have been able to have sort of even thought about or attempted doing.
So people will be looking at your before and after picture, even though you've explained your story there. People will be looking at it and think, yeah, but it's all right for Caroline. It's not, she hasn't got my X, Y, and Z issues. Obviously, you've just explained, it wasn't easy for you. But what are some roadblocks that you have actually overcome to be able to be where you are today?
I think it's being persistent, being in the right, I suppose, headspace to begin with. To once you've made that decision that you need to make a change and you're going to do something about it, then that's half the battle over with then, because you've got all the tools are given to you at the gym to use. You've got all the, like say, your menus, your cookbooks, your modules to go through. Obviously the trainers support, and to yourself as well. I suppose you've got to be accountable as well to what you do. So however much you do is what you'll get at the end results. So I think I have done 3 shoots altogether. So the first one, it did take over a year to build up the confidence to actually attempt it, and that did really dramatically sort of reduce my weight down. I think my first target was sort of 80 kilograms from 96 kilograms. That was my first target. So that first shoot I did manage just to get under that, but then bad habits did creep back in again, so I did go up a little bit to 84 kilograms. That's about going back to being accountable for yourself. So I then did my second one and sort of went into like 100% with it and got down to less than, was it 72 kilograms, which was like, I was really pleased with, because I didn't think I'd ever get below 75 kilograms, even though Jack's like, yes, you will. And then I was really more aware and conscious of doing the reverse diet properly and sticking to it, and that managed to keep the weight off. So I sort of kept sort of at 73, 74 kilograms. And then because I like a little bit of structure leading up to Christmas, I did my third shoot, and that was less about, I suppose, weight loss, but more around sort of muscle definition and shape. And I'd say, I was a pear in my younger years, and then gradually went into middle-aged apple shape, which has got all that horrible bad weight across your middle, to now sort of, completely losing all that. It's been absolutely fantastic. So definitely. And then there are other health benefits as well. I think when you're in your mid-50s, obviously you lose your bone density, so the risk of falls and fractures is a big element. And obviously doing lots of strength, you strengthen your muscles, which improves overall balance. So hopefully that's one way of sort of looking after your health, getting into older age.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree with everything you just said there. And so, what give you? So you do the 6 weeks. You've progressed with the 6 weeks. What give you the confidence to take part in the shoot programs?
I think seeing the results of everybody else, you know, and listening to them going through that 12-week journey, and how hard they found it, but once they'd actually done it, the results, and you know, they were just, you know, on top of the world. They were really pleased with it. And obviously you get all the photos before and after going up through the gym, so when you're there anyway, you're looking at them thinking, one day I want to be like that.
Yeah,
so
absolutely,
yeah.
Yeah. How are the HQ sessions? So you go around the room. How did they set up? How did you find the exercises?
So the THQ sessions then usually, like say, go 3 times a week, and there's lots of exercises per session. You rotate them round, and they just work the different muscle groups. Always others are changed a little bit harder, but as you sort of progress through that month, you get sort of stronger. You either lift heavier or you do more reps, so you feel like you're progressing each month, and you can keep like a little record of that in your logbook, so you can, you know, you've got the evidence there that you are improving. Any sort of injuries or any sort of medical conditions relating to joint flexibility and things like that, you know, your trainer will go with you and either, you know, do an alternative exercise or just, you know, reduce the weights and that until you're sort of either recovered or, you know, it's what you were able to achieve. I think the other thing is not to sort of compete with other people. You're all different. And you will lift different weights. You know, you'll have stronger muscle groups. Perhaps your legs are stronger than your arms, and so really just sort of stick to your own goals. And like I say, as you keep a record in your logbook, you can see your own progress.
Yeah, absolutely. So, had you lifted weights before?
No, so I've been a member of a gym before, which used to be lots of cardio, so I could run for an hour, do loads of Rotex or rowing, and then use the weight machines because you've got instructions on the side, but you didn't know whether you were doing it right or not. And again, the number of reps, if you got bored or chatting, you just moved to another machine, see all the free weights, and would never know where to start with those. Whereas now, you know, if I saw a set of dumbbells, if I go on holiday and there's a gym, I'll quite happily go in and just try and do some of the exercises that I've remembered.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, and that was going to be my next question really. Would you be able to walk into a gym? Tell me about your food plan. What was your food plan? Let's do a comparison. So what's your breakfast now and what was it before you started?
Oh gosh, so breakfast before would probably be loads of processed cereals and just milk. And yeah, all the wrong things, toast, jam, those sort of sweet things now. Whereas now I'm sort of a Greek yoghurt convert, a bit of granola and omelettes. That's my new favourite, which weirdly enough would have come through our shoot support group. So we have like a Facebook group, and certain members are really good, will post pictures of what they're eating, which gives you really good ideas for meals. And yeah, so one of the random ones was a tuna omelette, which now is my favourite.
Brilliant. So do you feel like your knowledge of food has improved? Feel like you could just sort of eat on the go better, or go shopping better? And
I think, yeah, eating out or eating on the go definitely make better food choices, or when you're on holiday, if you're on a buffet and that, you pick more healthier or more protein rich options, whereas previously before you just go for the whatever fancies, your hot dog, fries and stuff like that, whereas now it's, you know, usually chicken or fish, something nicer, and steak prepared, with fresh vegetables and things.
And then when you do have bad things, then you look forward to those bad things a little bit more if in most of your diet is.
Yeah, definitely. You don't mean you have to abstain completely. You can still go have your treat and have a drink or have the pudding that you wanted. But because you've got that knowledge behind you now, the next few days, you know, where you can just pick yourself back up again and sort of pull back on a few calories or carbs less, and it doesn't affect your weight. You're still, at the moment, touch wood, maintaining that sort of maintenance weight.
Yeah. spot on. So what advice would you give to anyone thinking about clicking that learn more button?
I would just say do it. So I think if you see my before and after photos, it's, I just can't believe the difference, and I'm so pleased, so proud. I wouldn't have posted pictures of myself before, so the first shoot I wouldn't have shared my photos because I wasn't where I wanted to be. Anyone wants to join, that I would say that would do, because if my before and after photos sort of inspire somebody else to do it, I'll just say if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Oh, thank you very much anyway.
Thank you.
So guys, Caroline's interviews inspired you. I want you to click the link on this video. We'll send you some more information and we'll see